last industry presentation of the day by Mr. Prasun Talukdar, who is the National Manager of Business Development, Digital India and Strategic Projects, Government and PSU Micro Focus. A huge round of applause for Mr. Prasun Talukdar. I promised you that we'll give you gifts, correct? I promised you, and we gave away one. We still have two more such, you know, what do you say, lucky draws to happen. And that gives, I'll just take a couple of more minutes, you know, I have a couple of announcements before we go ahead. Mr. G.S. Naveen Kumar, okay, sorry, give me 1 second. There is this ID, Mr. B. Venkateshwara Rao, your ID card has been missing and it has been found at the registration desk. So if you are here, you can collect it from the registration desk. Now, without further ado, Mr. Prasun Talukdar, National Manager, Business Development, Digital India and Strategic Projects, Government and PSU Micro Focus. Thank you so much.
Very good evening. Good evening and welcome to all. It's indeed a pleasure to get the opportunity to present in front of this great and august gathering. First of all, congratulations for this 75 years of celebration of our independence with Amrit Mahotsav. So with that, I will take this opportunity to give you a quick insight about micro-focus point of view of smart city operations. I think during the whole day we have been discussing So we have been discussing multiple technology solutions aspect, how this can be implemented, how this can be used, and how the different outcomes can be possible on different ICT domains. While today we take this opportunity to talk about more of a safe city, smart city, or the smart infrastructure, we will put up thoughts that once you implement a solution, implement a smart city or the safe city solutions, it is important that how do we make it more sustainable, how do we run it more efficiently, and how to run it more securely. So that is where we like to give that perspective, so for everybody's understanding. And this process, we will try to. What is that? So just before that, let me just quickly take 1-2 minutes about micro-focus. Probably many of you know about the organizations, but still I thought that let me spend 1 or 2 minutes here. So micro-focus is a pure play enterprise software company where we are the 6th largest software company globally. And we are present in this particular industry for more than 45 years and in India more than 25 years. Now, if you see that Microfocus is providing different solutions and different domains with their software and the digital transformation and partnering with various customers, various partners in the last 4 decades. Now, if you see this particular slide, you probably will know a lot of names, right? On the left side, you see the Nobel, you see, COBOL and, all these organizations, right? So these are the companies which Microfocus taken over in the last so many years, and these are the technology and the solutions available. So there are old legacy technologies like COBOL, which we are still supporting. At the same time, on the right-hand side, you will find that a lot of new names. These are the primarily in the area of cybersecurity, infrastructure management, AI, ML, analytics, and stuff like that. 2018, Microfocus took over HP Software, and that was a major acquisition happens, and there are many more, and by which we becomes one of the largest software company globally. Now coming to smart city, now all of us knows that smart city, this whole mission is driven for the economic development of a city, and at the same time improve the quality of life, right? And when the quality of life is basically quality of services, and the whole process many cities today in India and outside are deploying multiple sensors, multiple devices like cameras, traffic control systems, solid waste management sensors, and the SCADA system for utilities, so on and so forth. And all these things are nothing but to deliver quality services, to improve the service delivery of different utilities and different services which municipality or the smart city or or a district country is providing. And if you see this whole framework, is finally everything is kind of getting integrated into a central command and control center, and from where things are being controlled, monitored, and managed. And definitely, most of the core applications, in the different domains, are being run into a data center, or there is a disaster recovery site for the redundancy, right? And at the same time, you also have a large network infrastructure being deployed across the city or across the district, where your service is being delivered on top of this infrastructure, right? So that's what we see this particular framework, and it has been successful in India in the last 6-7 years where the smart city mission is going on, and same thing is applicable globally as well. And if you see that, all these things is finally coming to three things. One is the application, set of applications is running, and there are set of infrastructure, and then there are data being generated, so information, right? So finally, when we talk about how to manage a city, how to manage infrastructure, how to manage a district or towns, right, or the municipality, it's about managing the three things. And that is where we as an organization coming here, our point of view is that this is where we partner with various cities today and helping them to manage applications, infrastructure, and the data, the informations, and with various tools and things what we have today. Now, I will talk about 3-4 aspects into this, the way things are happening or the way things can happen as a best practice. So most of it, these 3 things needs the security layer. So you need to secure your data, you need to secure the infrastructure through maybe security incident management softwares or the kind of SOC which that everybody is going for, and at the same time you also see that there are application security, because you need to secure applications which is running in various on the cloud or the data center or even the edge. So how do you secure that is very important. And second part is that there is something called user behavior analytics, right? Because when you run your application, there are a lot of data, a lot of infrastructure, and there you need to also see that how you detect the anomalies, how you detect the suspicious activities or the attacks coming out of that. So that is where you will find that you need a lot of analytics coming in and helping you to manage your infrastructure and the data. And definitely data being encrypted is one of the ways to secure your data and the information. Now, second part of the infrastructure management, the IT management, is that when you are managing any devices or any infrastructure, nowadays analytics and the big data becomes the core to any approach today, right? Even that is also applicable for our life itself, right? So when you see the big data analytics, AI-based operations become very, very important. Now, when you say AI-based operation, is nothing but you are using AI to predict incident and resolve those incidents in advance, so that you can save time, so that your system is up and running, whether it's the application or the devices or the infrastructure. Second part is that when you are using machine learning or automation, so automation is another aspect being used as a part of the AI ops, because then when you use the automation, that means you are automating your workflows in the process of the IT operations. At the same time, eventually you are actually reducing your human interventions there, and you are making the system more efficient. So because today, nowadays, it is important that your manpower cost is also very high. So these are the few things where you will always keep using and to make this whole IT operations of a particular smart city more efficient. This is actually going to give you a overview that how we have been supporting many cities in India on the smart city and the safe city space. There are around 75 odd smart cities gone live with their command and control center as a part of the smart city mission. I think close to 36 smart cities has adopted micro-focus solutions. That is why we are supporting multiple smart cities today in India, and is proud to share with you is that today what the architecture being adopted in India or the Indian environment is become one of the global architecture for microfocus in a global footprint. So this is what has kind of happened the reverse way. Normally we happen a lot of things coming from outside. In India it is happened reverse for smart city. Indian architecture is being followed in many other cities outside the country. Now, just to giving a little bit deeper, but definitely not that deeper to I don't want to make you boring with the technology terms, but to just tell you that when you have any ICT systems or the infrastructure or you are going for any project, I think it's important that you need to maintain the quality of your applications. So whether it is a e-governance applications or it is a municipal applications or it is video analytics or it can be command control center softwares, right? Ultimately, you need to have your applications ready to run for that number of users, ready to run for that particular response time. Otherwise, users will not use those softwares. And it can be even the portal application as well or the user mobile app as well, right? So that is where we have solutions which help customer to do the quality testing of the applications and helping you to make your applications more quality and more service oriented for your users. Second aspect is that IT operations management. Now we talk about AI-based operations management, but finally it is a IT services management is very important to deploy into any IT projects, and that is where you will find that there are multiple areas starting from service fulfillment, service management, service assurance, and service governance. But I'm not in details. But what I want to tell you is that this whole framework is something which is based on ITIL standard. So we call it ITSM. And I think one Madam Dr. Gayatri who mentioned about the India architecture. So India architecture actually follows this ITIL framework as far as the IT operations management is concerned. So these are kind of global standards which is being followed in most of the large IT projects happening in India, not only smart city but many other places. And then everything is kind of embedded with the data lake today because you have so much of information coming for your even IT operations management from different devices, sensors and IoTs. So it's very important that a data lake is being used so that you can do the data crunching and get a whole lot of prediction can happen within your infrastructure, within your system. This part is cyber security. Now if you see that what we help customers today is that one is the data privacy. Now whenever data privacy or data protection, we help customer to using this voltage is the product which the solution helps customer to the data security part of it. And second is that when you have an applications or services, it is being accessed by your internal user and the external users. So you need to give a different kind of privilege, different kind of access to your user. So identity and the access management becomes part of your cyber security strategy. So single sign-on, multi-factor authorization, whole lot of stuff is something that you always talk about, we always going to implement. So this is what something called NetIQ, which helps customer to implement this particular solutions. And the third one is the application security, because when your application is being developed at the detail and through your application being deployed in the production, so you have to see that this application does not have any vulnerability in the coding itself, and so that it gets hacked when it's at the production. So it is important that you need to test your application at the initial stage, so that when you deploy the applications, your chance of getting breach or the attack will be much less. So that is where Fortify is the solution which will help customer to do that. And there are almost 70-80% software houses today in India and globally use this particular software to protect their applications or test their applications. And most important, I think, in terms of the network operations, server operations in a data center, it's become important to the security operations as well. Now, that for the security operations, there is something called ArcSight, and ArcSight has got a bunch of softwares which help customer to gather the various alerts coming from whole lot of devices, from the end devices, your server, your network, everywhere, and then you do the threat hunting with these softwares, with using the AIML softwares inside this, and that will help to get the alarms and take the actions by the security operators. Let me just another couple of minutes just tell you about some of the use cases in the smart city, safe city, or the smart district, the topics that we are covering today. I'll not go into the details, but I'll just tell you what is the safe city. Now, city surveillance, which is very important, right? Because today safety is probably the top 3 priorities in any city today. I think in this room there are multiple successful smart city CEOs are sitting here who has implemented the solutions. I'm just telling you is that when it is a safe city or city surveillance, there are solutions from Micro Focus which helps customer to manage their hybrid IT infrastructure. One. Second, we also help customer to secure the applications, secure the data, what is there for the smart cities. Second is that test the application so that it is ready for the right kind of standards, right kind of performance. And last not the least, the analytics part of it, because when it is a city surveillance, then you need to do a lot of prediction based on your video analytics, right? So that you can predict the hotspot of crimes, or you can track the criminals, or it can be using the artificial intelligence, you can predict incident so that police can take the necessary action. So these are the solutions that being implemented in multiple cities from our side. Second one is that another important for any city is the traffic management system, because traffic challenge is again one of the top 3 challenges for any cities today. Now, it's very similar in terms of the approach. So again, you want to protect your traffic control systems, the whole network, data coming from traffic control systems or the cameras coming to the data center. So you need to protect all those infrastructure, manage all infrastructure, and second, predictive analytics to do the traffic management, city planning. So those are the use cases which being implemented in multiple cities today. I'll go fast. Same for the smart health system. There are multiple solutions we provide. City portals and the mobile apps, I think these are the part and parcel of any cities or even any large infrastructure projects today. And you need to have a quality of application, the performance. Then there's a solid waste management. I think this is one of the most used applications in various cities. While we are talking about cities and districts on towns doing this, how they can manage it better, but we are going to just share with you is that it's not only the cities and towns. We are one of the leading solution provider or the OEM for providing softwares to manage your data centers, do the automation in data centers, so to make it more efficient. Network operation centers, security operation centers, right? So these are the names, large customers, especially on the central ministries. You will find it starting from the Minister of Defense, Telecom, Minister of Finance. So all these customers we are supporting with these softwares and helping them to run their infrastructure, run their IT much more better and more efficiently. So with that, I will stop here. So I'm here for taking any questions. We have some time for question. Otherwise, we can do it later. No problem. So I'm here. Fine. So thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity.
I would now like to call on the dais Mr. Prasun Talukdar, Head SEMT Center for E-Governance, Government of Karnataka, to please join us on the stage and felicitate Mr. Prasun Talukdar, National Manager, Business Development, Digital India and Strategic Projects, Government and PSU Micro Focus. Can we have a huge round of applause?